Either way.
We're here tonight without promoting anything.
We have arrived.
We have arrived. Are you ready for some clickety-clackities as I write an announcement to my Discord server? Because I am apparently not doing a very good job at advertising today. I don't know, I've been off my game this week.
They were actually just talking about how there's, about how excited they are about the stream. So,
well, that's
I
lovely.
think you're in pretty good shape.
I just added everyone there. So, to let them know we're live. So, hello stream. We're here for another Storytime Chit-Chat. So, for tonight, we're discussing chapters 31 through 33 of When Souls Awaken. Doing some questions, then shouting at you to continue reading our stuff, and then we're gonna go on to, Cecilia time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, so, in just a moment, I'll switch scenes so we can see Cecilia up there. Because
everybody comes here for my pretty face.
Obviously, you have the best avatar. Hopefully music is good and shit like that. If you're interested in the music, it is just called Tavern Music, Fantasy, Medieval, no copyright, blah blah blah, on YouTube's the YouTube channel Unwind Station. Super nice. I like using their stuff for streams. It's very easy. Okay, so without further ado, I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
We're off to a great start.
We're just we're always unhinged. That's what they come here for. It's not for the story content. It's because we're unhinged.
That's true.
Right?
It is. Bam! Look at that bacon sizzle. Thank you, Lee.
Hey. Okay. Let's get there. Oh God, that's not the right thing. Give me 1 second.
I'm a square.
A very nice square.
I'll tell you what else is
I
nice
forgot
about
that I had my Discord server out there, so you got to see a little bit of the server. Oh, like that's like anything. I gotta go back to my stream team. Okay, let's see if everything is. Hey! Just because I am failing, doesn't mean I need to hide it. I guess I don't know.
You're still a winner in my heart.
Okay, that's the right scene. There's my arm. Oh God, what's going on with my arm? Come on, there.
I am.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, it just likes to track my left. For some reason, it's really weird about tracking my right. I also have it mirrored, so that way I don't get confused. So if I say my left and my right's going, that's part of why. But, anyways, so.
I don't think I have mine mirrored, actually. I think I actually just naturally know to do it.
Well, after so many times going, oh, yeah, she's right up there, and failing, I figured to just give up and stop learning and just learn to change the settings instead. Anyways, this has been a great way to start and greet the stream. Thank you for coming, Z. We're super excited to have you here. Look at my weird stretchy thumbs. Well, so
beautiful.
Chapter 31 of When Souls Awaken. A night out. If you thought these chapters hurt, then I am sorry for next week's chapter that drops. Whoo. Unless you're a Patreon, then you got it last night. Or no, today. Yeah, last night, because Patreon drops at midnight.
Yes.
But, anyways. So, for the appearing characters in Chapter 31, which is titled A Night Out, we got Alora, Varun, Alanis, Flora, Yuga, and Brian. Brian's back! Ah! But, so.
That's not a bad thing.
I hope not, but, who knows? There's a lot of trauma going everywhere. For everyone. Oh god, my fingers just fall out of the detection range. Look at that.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry. Anyways, the chapter starts off with our uneasy Alora tapping away in a restaurant. You know, she's just drumming her fingers, blah, blah, blah. But, and, you know, Alanis is there silently questioning his life choices of how he ended up in a tavern with a sloth and a high chair. I mean, he did offer to take them. And he's actually just a genuinely nice guy. He's probably enjoying himself, honestly. He likes
Probably
them.
is.
He's like, oh, look at these little fuck-ups. They're our little kids. Me and Kuro. We're the dads. Not like that. I heard he's married, but I've never seen his wife.
Yeah, I don't think his wife is ever actually mentioned, like, at all.
No, but it's just generally, I don't know. People just don't question Kuro. But would you question Daddy Kuro? Let's be real. Anywho.
Yes.
Anywho, Al is adjusting after her return. After her return from her training with Urxacalis. And, you know, at this moment, Flora left to go to the little girl's room. And so, of course, Yuka is up to something. Little does Yuka know that she is about to create a very potentially explosive situation. So, and that's because she's bringing her buddy old pal, buddy Brian. What are the chances that he's there in Sanctum?
Wow.
But, she's bringing him over to join in the celebration of Al's return. It should be noted that Yuka has no idea of the past between Allura and Brian. She has, you know, she has no clue that Allura has taken this poor guy hostage at least once, you know, once upon a time. And, sorry, my phone was in a noisy spot.
He was into it.
I mean, yeah, but still. Anyway. So, she has no idea that Allura took him hostage once upon a time, and Yuka and Brian are just both really fucking lucky that Allura is rather fucking mature and objective about shit, so it goes pretty well. But, I mean, you know, Allura kind of just leaves afterwards. It gets tense, you know. Her focus was, you know, she kind of wanted to just work out some trauma by beating the shit out of Armel. But it turns out that he only visits, like, once in a blue moon. Maybe only for holidays. Which I should probably come up with. So that way I could finally answer Ruby and let her know what... Oh, God. Sorry. My arm attacked me.
Oh my God. Much proud. Very well.
I know, right? But, so he only visits once in a blue moon. So she's just pretty safe. Pretty safe. Pretty safe. And, you know, Yuka brought Brian over to the table because she was looking to hook him up with Allura, because apparently she can't trust Flora and Al to not just fall madly in love with each other unless they're both already taken. I don't know. It sounds pretty red flaggy to me, you know. That's some insecurities that causes concern in my book.
Maybe. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Anywho. It's a short chapter with one big fucking development on Al's side. Or is it? But, what is it? It's, it's, you know, that little sense of power she got there, you know? Why is she even sensing power? Like, why is this a thing? She didn't seem to be able to do it before, before her training with the Goddess of War. So what happened during that time that she left and now she's like she can sense power? I mean, what power was she sensing there? Who knows? I mean, I do, because I wrote the story, but I'm trying not to tell you everything. But which is really funny because most of the time when I say who knows, and like when I'm working on stories, you know, Hippie will be like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, I don't. Yeah, I never know where my shit is going.
The amount of times that she kind of makes everything up off the fly and just kind of, you know, does things. I mean, you know, when it comes to your plot, you've always been, well, full-on pantser with it. I mean, you set up your world and your characters really well.
Yeah, the plot just kind of falls into place.
Yeah. Which is really funny because I remember that it used to be the opposite. You had the plot line figured out and you didn't have anything about the worlds and everything.
I miss having the days of plot lines figured out. Like, what happened to me? And why do I keep talking with my hands? But
I mean,
anyways. So anyways, anywho, it was a short chapter with that big development. So, but like what happened? Maybe, just maybe, we'll find out next chapter. So let's find out. I mean, it's called swimming. So maybe we will swim our way to the answer, or we'll just end up wet and frustrated because it's a long story.
just
But
like
trust
my
me,
a normal day anyway.
but trust me, the end will be worth it. I hope. My hopeful attempt.
Will make you beat me to it.
So, chapter 32, swimming.
Oh boy.
Whoosh, whoosh. I'm so happy to have hand movement. But, so for appearing characters, we have
I'm so proud of you.
Alora, Rune, Flora, Brian, Yuka, Cole, and we have Kuro in a flashback. So, and we actually have God chat for this chapter. A little bit. Just a teensy. Just a little bit. As a treat. For you. So we have Larsolus and Rixacalis. Woo! Beach episode.
Beach episode.
Yeah. So right out the gate, we learned that Alora actually went and apologized, as well as thanked Brian for saving her from Axis's fire. Because, she knows that Brian was basically a bystander and all, and he tried to help her despite being on opposite sides.
Mm-hmm.
So now Flora got them plus a couple of friends to go to the local lake, and this lake will show up multiple times in the story. And one of my favorite scenes take place here. I can't wait for that one.
Oh, that's gonna be fun, yeah.
Talk about being frustrated. Anywho, Al is
God.
sunbathing with Rune, and Flora is annoyed that she won't come swim. And this is kind of a really nostalgic moment between Flora and Alora, because they've had this conversation multiple times when they were young and traveling. But the moment gets ruined, well, more ended than anything by Yuka's jealousy. But, she kind of does it in a cutesy way, and it works out. She just kind of distracts her with a game instead, which, is fine. That's acceptable. Instead of, misplacing your anger from your aggression, your jealousy, you should talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Try and figure out what it is, so that way you don't trigger each other. There's no relationship advice here. Please don't take it from me. I haven't been in a relationship in God knows how fucking long, and I mean, obviously they didn't work. So, but so then
fair,
Cole.
that's just because they didn't deserve you.
Anyways, then Cole, this fuck, thinks he's hot shit. And, I mean, he is, according to any of the girls his age around the town. But Al, she ain't having any of it. And he thinks he's better than sliced bread, but he doesn't realize that Al is too hot to handle and his ass is toast because, as soon as he touches Rune, she puts him face down in the sand, threatening to break his arm if he ever touches Rune again. Mind you, he was just trying to move the sloth so he could avoid dunking both of them. Good intentions, face full of dirt, because he didn't, he didn't understand the word no. That's even if what he was doing was, a courtesy, like moving the sloth out of the way, he did not take no for an answer. And Alora will beat no into him if she needs to. Especially
Alora
in the name of Rune.
Z, very good comment. Do not touch the
Yes.
best boy yet.
Thank you. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep thumbs up at the chat. Whatever. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, then what happened?
Okay. I had to, gather myself for a second there. So anyway, Yuka is quick to try and make Al out to be the bad guy in Flora's eyes. But too bad, bitch. Flora knows Al way too well, and she understands that what happened between Alora and Cole with just that little bit she heard. She just heard, him threatening, she heard that Rune was mentioned. So she's like, okay, it's just Al being Al. And, Yuka is like, wow, she really changed, didn't she? And Flora's like, no, not even a little. This is just her. This is
like
my
that.
Alora. If she was any other way, I'd be worried. I mean, I'm kind of worried now. And, anyway, so this sparks another spat of jealousy between the girls. And, yeah, it's not looking too good for them. But They're not. They're sticking it out for a while. We'll see how they go. Later on, Cole does manage to actually dunk Alora, and she does nothing to fight back. And it's just like she falls into the water's abyss, and that's when we have that little flashback with Kuro. And in that flashback, he discovers her scarring. And anyways, after emerging from the water, she's approached by extremely worried Flora, and we get more of a sense of just how broken Al is, and it sparks a brief moment between Larsolus and Rixa in the God chat. So the thing here is Rixa does not see an issue with Al's response. She's just kind of like, yeah, she's a defender. What do you expect? Like, she's not a fighter. Like, she fights to protect. She doesn't fight to fight. And, you know, and while Larsolus, believe it or not, is actually kind of a voice of reason in a way. And, like, I know we all like to pick on Lars, but he is a great character as this story goes on. He gets better. Trust me. But Larsolus is like, why the fuck is this kid so dead inside? I don't know, man. Maybe it's all the trauma, the lack of actual therapy, or, you know, the fact that she doesn't have connections to more people that aren't just interested in just using her. I mean, everyone wants to use her for something, pretty much. I mean, let's face it. Rixa Callis said that she wants her part in history to be Alora's teacher. So she's not doing it for Alora's sake. She's doing it for her own ego.
Oh, yeah.
Vesutio, you know, we'll see him take, his own take from her, you know. And it's just, in chapter 34, we see that happen. So that'll be the next StoryTime Chit-Chat we do. We'll talk about that. But we'll see that even he, like, despite being a nice god and doing stuff for all of his followers, he's like, holy shit, let me take advantage of this girl. She's got trained. She can help me out here. But anyways, everyone just wants to use Alora. And that's pretty much what's going on. Like, I mean, her only people at this point is Flora, who is the kid she adopted, pretty much. Kuro, the doctor who's not good with emotions. And Axis, who thought it was better for her sake to abandon her. And not that she even knows that he did it for her sake. She's just like, I don't know what happened. And that's probably worse than anything. Oh, so maybe this chapter just left us all wet, and maybe chapter 33 will have more answers. Let's see. Chapter 33, The Past is Real. We have appearing characters as Alora, Vroon, Flora, and Alora's panty-clad butt. No God chat. We're going to be really brief about this chapter because the stuff that happens in it is super emotional, and we learn a bit more about Alora's past, and I really encourage you to read about it because there's not really much to dig deeper into this. It's kind of said. If I feel that there is something that needs to be brought up, it'll come up when, in the future StoryTime Chit-Chats. But so it starts out with the girls getting back after the lake, and Al is getting changed, but Flora walks in on the booty she wants to worship, but see what I do there? But she focuses on the much more horrifying reality that rests above Alora's well-toned ass. Al is covered in scars. And it's at this point that she finally breaks down and opens up to Flora about what happened. Like I said, I'm not going to say much about this because you should really read it.
Yes.
This chapter is extremely important to Alora's emotional development because she finally learns to lean on she can lean on Flora. And even though that Flora breaks down with her, they break together and she shares her pain, and it really helps her grow as a person. And this is going to really help her in her future as things get shittier. Sorry, did I say shittier? I meant better.
Yeah, I thought that everything was going to get better and everyone's going to be all flowery and there's going to be a happy ending.
Why? Just because we have a cute girl named Flora with a pink hair and a puppy?
Yes.
She got the puppy in the second chapter. After the kid was sacrificed by his dad.
Listen.
Yes, I am full of shit right now. Anyways. So Flora and Allura spend the night together, holding each other in platonic comfort. And it really speaks to the depths of their friendship because Flora will always set aside her own romantic feelings for Allura to be there for her. Even if Flora struggles with her own feelings, she will not let Al struggle alone as long as she notices it's happening. I can't say that, Flora will just metagame it because she ain't going to, and I try to write true to my characters, but well, we might not really have learned more about the whole big power sensing thing, that started, but I'm sure that'll come back up in the future. And you can actually read up to chapter 33 for free on 36 for free on Tapas and Wattpad right now, and read ahead to 37 on Patreon. Otherwise, 37 will drop for free on the 16th, while the paid chapters will be 38 and 39. 37 is going to hurt, guys. I am telling you that. I cried when I wrote it. I cried when I edited it. Yeah.
She did an amazing job with it, and having been able to read it myself and everything, I'm just like, oh my god.
She's my editor. So, that brings us to my questions. We're going to try and get through these all. But
yes,
in 8 minutes, whether or not we're finished these questions, we will be switching over to HippieGhost content. So,
I'm sure we can get through it.
Let's start.
All right. What is the drinking age in your world? What is the drinking age in your world, if there's any?
Okay. So when drinking ages are actually enforced around in Vismundus, it can vary, but generally it's like 18 plus, what, most of the world does, from my understanding.
All right. Has Armel been in Sanctum? I read that his family is there. Has he visited?
He has been to Sanctum, and he does visit his family, just not often. He, quotation, doesn't have time for that bullshit, as he would put it.
What a charmer.
I know. Real mama's boy.
It seems Allura has a bit of a fan group. Does Brian also like Allura, or is it more of a kindred spirits feeling?
Brian is scaroused by Allura. He is terrified of her and kind of into it. But he's basically, it's that like whole teen boy brain going, pretty girl, and he wants to get stepped on. He is just a big old sub. He's just like, yes, Allura, please step on me. And he's about Allura's age. So at this point, he is like, 18 years old.
Awesome. Okay. So, if she didn't have the scars and such, what sort of bathing suit would Allura wear?
Allura would wear probably like a one piece or like one of those tanky bathing suits. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a tank top, But, because she is rather reserved, but more than anything, she would just choose something for actual swimming and playing around that wouldn't fall off. She doesn't give a shit what it looks like. She just wants it to function and function well.
I could see her just wearing a wetsuit.
Yeah, she would. If the water was cold, she'd wear a wetsuit. She ain't about fucking around, guys. But I don't know if wetsuits actually exist in that world yet.
I freaking love that wetsuit. I love wetsuits.
Yeah. Anyways, next question.
Does Allura know how to and like swimming?
Allura knows how to swim, and she loves it. She just avoids doing it around other people because she doesn't want anyone asking questions. We all know how much she just loves to open up.
Yes.
Next question.
Could Kuro give the gift of healing to a person like how they made other mages?
Yes, and we will be meeting one or two of them. Actually, there is one that is specifically planned, and he will show up towards the end of the story. I'm really excited for him. He's really not a big character, but I don't know. I just resonate with him.
I like him.
But, yeah, because I wanted to answer this question a little better, but I need to look over everything to see when the one thing gets revealed, because I don't even remember if it's revealed as a big thing, but I think it was really low-key mentioned at one point, but I'd have to look over, and I don't want to spoil it, Mm-hmm. So, next question.
Is the reason that Allura can't get any blessing from the gods because her parents were atheists?
Yes, there is a reason, but not because they were atheists. Is it related to that? Who knows? But I do, but yeah. And yeah, her parents were atheists, but
Are her parents still alive?
Yes. For now.
Dum-bum-bum. Will the method of her escape from the slavers be revealed?
I don't recall having that as a flashback in the story, but I mean, it's totally, a thing I would consider making, like, as a little treat for Patreons, or like, or something where I write more in-depth flashbacks or something, a little short. I might add something like that as bonus content.
Yeah, I do recall it being pretty heavily implied.
Yeah, I know a lot of her backstory is implied because I wasn't really sure exactly what to have happen with her during that time. Because I was like, you know, she's getting enough trauma exposed without throwing that in there. So, you know.
Alright. Is Cole a mage?
It was left undecided in case he ended up with a bigger role in the story. Because there's a group of characters that they'll come across that was literally only supposed to be there for that scene, but they stay for the entire story after that.
Woo!
So
I love some of those characters too.
Yeah, they're wonderful, but yeah, so if you thought we were halfway done with the story, boy oh boy. Let me
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that the story is like we're nowhere near halfway done.
So let's see.
Also, yes, she would definitely turn people into pincushions.
Yeah, she does that. So, of everything right now that's posted for free, we are about a quarter of the way through the story. A little bit more than a quarter of the way. But yeah, we've just passed that quarter mark. So we still got a lot to go, a lot more characters to meet, a lot more issues to be had. Like I said, this is all leading up to the war. And we haven't even started the war yet.
Yeah.
We've passed the little minor arcs, but we haven't gotten to the major one. We don't even know who the major villain is yet.
Ooh.
If you're on the Discord server, you got to see a promo written by the villain, though, because there was a little thing. But yeah. Anyways, next question.
Yes. All right. So, if makes of two different gods had child.
If makes of two different gods had a child.
Which mage gene would be the dominant, or is it just a random thing, chance thing? So basically, if two different mages from two different gods had a kid, which magic gene would be more dominant?
So this is something that actually is a focus in the sequel. A little bit of a focus. Because I'm still in the middle of writing the sequel. But so the second generation of mages actually blend their power, their parents' soul to get their own, basically. Not that they consciously do it, but basically their parents' soul mix and mingle, and mutations can occur. So if you have like a Phoenix mage and a Phoenix mage, get together and they have a child, that kid is going to be a Phoenix mage. No doubt about that. But the new Phoenix mage may be able to do things that their parents weren't able to. For example, like if Axis can just like summon flames and chaos everywhere, if he had a child with another Phoenix, or just had a child anyway, with a non-mage person, that Phoenix would actually be, that new Phoenix mage would be more refined than him. So their magic could be better. And it could be that they use it to form things like shapes or objects or whatever, or they manipulate fire at different levels, make it almost plasma or something like that. It can, there's all sorts of ways that it can go. I tried to leave it really variable.
I'm imagining a water mage and an earth mage be turning in, or having a kid that's a mud mage.
So, if you do, that is possible, except it wouldn't be necessarily a mud mage, but they could create mud. But their powers might be separate, might be mixed. It depends how they mutate and
1
mix
minute.
and match. Like I said, these questions are for fun. It's okay. Don't yell at me.
I'm teasing you. It's okay.
All right.
But no, we have a few minutes still, so go ahead. Does Allura have a slave brand?
No, she does not. And that is going to conclude the questions for now. I have more, and we will see about finishing answering those after, if we have time after Hippie is done with her content.
Probably, actually.
But first of all, subscribe to our shit on Tapas and Wattpad, Patreon, and Ko-fi. You know the deal. You know the deal if you've been watching. If you don't, I suggest, keep watching this shit. Maybe go back and watch the other Storytime Chit-Chats, because honestly, it's lots of fun. Anyways, follow us on social media for more update and fun, and join the Discord for a ton of fun. Sneak attack? Okay, but here we go. As he's gonna get himself banned. Just kidding, I think I fixed that. Anyways, so here we go. We're taking a look at Cece's content now. Haha. Hi guys, I'm up here now. I say that, but oh no! Oh no! I'm talking to myself, guys. Let me just switch back over. We're having issues. Technical issues, as you can see. So, that's interesting. I think I'm alone now. Anyways, since I am, let me just... There we go. My co-host isn't here now. I don't know what happened to my co-host. Yeah, I think you sneak attacked her. You sneak attacked... Anyways, so, she should just be able to join back in when she figures out her stuff, assuming that it's not an issue on my end. It doesn't look like it's an issue on my end, but I honestly can't tell. I'm not sure what happened to her. So, let me just send a message real quick. Gotta love it when... Yeah, her internet went down. So, I'm gonna pretend... I'm gonna finish off these questions real quick, and then, hopefully she's back, like, in a minute. Otherwise, I'll just start reading her notes to you guys. Because, except I don't think she writes her notes like me, so I can't really do that. But I could try. I think I could pretend to be Cecilia. Just a little bit. Anyways, so next question was, what are Flora and Alora's driving forces? Is it fear, love, or pain? So Flora is driven by love and fear, with love being the stronger of the two, while Alora is driven by love. For as closed off as Alora can be about everything, she really is driven by her love, and, she's got a lot of emotions there. She will kill for those she loves. She will do anything. She'll break her morals. She'll break your morals. She'll break anything. But yeah. So, love is very powerful for her. Are there any holidays in Vismundus? Yes, there are, but as I mentioned earlier, they're not planned out right now, but they may appear in future stories that take place in Vismundus, because I have several other stories planned and started within Vismundus that should be relatively interesting and entertaining. I really like it. One of them is a psycho with a gun. She's so cute. Anyways, has Viserys bestowed any others with possible druid-like powers? No. He has not chosen any mage. After Alora's rejection, he's kind of gun-shy about it, and he's just like, you know what? Humans are trash. Kind of. It was really funny, because when I first wrote Viserys, he was supposed to be much more anti-human. He really doesn't like them. He was really supposed to be extremely against them, but I don't know. But Alora just wasn't an asshole, and then he wasn't an asshole, and it just, he's really skeptical of them rather than anti-human. So next question was, which god made the most mages? So the god that made the most mages in total would be Vesutio, and that's because he gave all of his followers the gift of sight, the ability to see souls.
Can you hear me?
I can!
What the crap?
I know, right? I just kept answering questions after I, freaked out for a while and checked my messages from you. And...
Yeah, I tried to, get it all. Like, I don't know what the hell happened there.
Is your avatar up and running?
I just I
Oh,
just
there you are. Okay.
started the stream. Yeah, it was just like what.
I was like, and there we are. You're on the big screen, and then it was just me screaming internally
Yeah, so it
as
actually
your
cut
avatar
out
just
before,
sat there.
It actually cut out right before, like, as soon as you said okay, like as soon as you started doing the Patreon promotion, that's when it cut out, and
Oof.
I could no longer hear you.
That's not
And I was
good.
like, something is happening.
Anyways.
And yeah, my internet just completely like crapped out.
Well, here's
So
the
I
big
had to
screen for
reset
you
everything.
again.
Excellent. Oh wow, look at that. That's
Yeah, I updated everything for our stream overlays. Like, I made this one. I've been making all of them myself because I'm broke. And Stream Elements actually is pretty good for making your own shit if you don't really know what you're doing. I mean, literally the background, the star twinkling, it's a slideshow of a picture that I drew extremely, almost exactly the same, like 6 times over. And it just rotates through it like a slideshow. It works pretty well.
That is pretty awesome. What was I going to say? Oh,
So,
yes.
it's Cecilia time.
Awesome. I'm assuming you got through all your questions?
Nope.
Then? Oh, how many did you have left?
I do not know, but we are going to your time.
Okay.
It'll be a nice little treat at the end.
Yeah, that works. All right. So, in that case, so yes, for these 10. So I've got
You got
a
some
couple.
explaining to do.
Well, so basically, yeah. So big thing I have is for the Aphuanian Tales. There's kind of a content slowdown. I'm sure some people have noticed with the announcement that I made on Tapas, but for those who don't know, I need to cut back to about an episode per week, at least for the foreseeable future. I just have a lot going on, but I still want to be. Yeah.
I'm very happy that you're actually. We're all very happy that you're taking care of yourself, honestly.
Yes, because and Amanda has been yelling at me for like 3 weeks to slow down, so I'm finally listening and being good for her.
Only 3 weeks?
Okay, I was trying to put it mildly.
I've been yelling at you since your first month on Tapas.
Okay, this is fair.
So
But
January.
Anyway.
Moving on.
So we're doing 1 episode per week for a little while. I would like to get to a point where I can get up to doing 2 episodes per week, but we'll see how it goes because the episodes kind of vary in length, and that's part of the problem. But there's just a ton of crap going on in my life right now. That's all just and full-time job. So, this week's chapter was very short, but very hard-hitting, and I kind of did that.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a very short but very good chapter, very hard-hitting, and the next one is longer and also hard-hitting. To give you an idea, this chapter was like maybe 2 paragraphs, whereas next week's chapter, which is up on Patreon, is 4 pages. So, bit of a difference. But very much worth checking out and everything. Looking to the future, so after I finish Unrelenting Fate, I'm going to start posting The Fell Rent. And that will be posted 1 episode at a time, scene by scene, until it is finished. That one is a long-term story, so it's going to take place over the course of several months in our time, and it'll be for it covers.
It's a really good story.
It's a really good story, but it covers this character's like entire childhood and just a ton of stuff.
It's a long form short story.
Yeah, this one is definitely not a short story. It is the long form story, and it's probably going to be kind of like the finale for the first volume of the Aphuanian Tales, because I have more, but it's going to put a lot of insight and give a lot of insight into Aping as a whole and everything, and it's kind of a big deal. After that, I might actually take a short break from the Aphuanian Tales specifically to focus on another. Yeah, so the Aphuanian Tales after Volume 1, whether it be after the Fell Wren or if I have another short story that I just want to go with, then I might do it. But after Volume 1, Aphuanian Tales will be doing a short hiatus. because there is another world that I have that I would really like to share with you all. That is the world of Abstrus, which Amanda and I are actually going to be doing a little for Funzy collab at some point with, um, featuring a character named Devin Zane, who is an occultist with ADHD. That
He's wonderful.
he is absolutely wonderful. He is a puppy, and he is
He's a
very
treat.
high intelligence, low wisdom type of character. Um, he was actually created when I was exploring my own ADHD symptoms, so really fun with that. And it would be kind of like a mystery of the month format. I'd probably be doing like a couple of mysteries here and there, although it could also even be just a case of, I do a mystery here, go back to the Aphuanian Tales, do another mystery, and so on. But we'll be seeing a little bit of him and his cousin Nora back and forth.
It's
In
really great if you like occultist stuff.
It is. The magic in this world, though, is a lot more toned down than anything's. Um, I mean, you know, it's not unheard of that somebody might learn how to cast like Fireball or summon the dead or something like that. But that's like the furthest you're going to get. It's not going to be high fantasy, and it's actually more of a like pseudo-Victorian theme. Really excited about that.
Mm-hmm. There's another character in it that I absolutely adore, and she also, I don't know when she appears, but she's part of it, same world or whatever, or at least she was at one point. But she has a modern version of that world too that she shows up in, and I love it.
Oh yes, yes. You're talking about Esther.
Yeah,
Yes, I forgot. I forgot that I had
she's
sent them.
wonderful. I love her.
Although,
I love the influences she holds over the future in the past.
yeah, I'm not actually 100% sure if that. I mean, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's
I know
canon.
you were flopping between her being that world or a different world or what.
Yeah, and because that one is actually there's a more modern world that also has a there's another world that I have that I'd like to make stories in that involves two places. One is a kind of a foundation, sort of similar to like the SCP stuff, if anybody's ever heard of it, and where it's teams of people that are getting artifacts and other anomalies and kind of keeping them safe so they don't fall into the wrong hands. And then there's also, in the same world, there is this town called Mistwood, which is a really odd, very strange, like kind of backcountry town. It's based in a place not unlike the Pacific Northwest, and with all of the mysteriousness and all the, dark forests and stuff like that to go with it. But that's all for future stuff. Just kind of planning, looking very, very far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Looking more closely in the future, Oracle readings. I have 4 people in my queue for my free Oracle readings from my 1,000 view milestone.
With a fifth one to be announced when I finally get that shit together.
Yes, and so they've already claimed theirs and everything. There are a few who have not claimed theirs, who are not considered part of the queue, because what I do is I add you to the queue when you actually claim your reading. And paid readings do get priority over the free readings. I have 2 people that I owe for paid readings to, but they haven't claimed them yet because they're kind of waiting for a little bit, and thank you guys for that. But yes, basically, if you want to purchase an Oracle reading, then you can do so by donating to my Ko-Fi or by being a Patreon subscriber. The other thing is for if you don't want to use Ko-Fi currency and you have Tapas and you have ink, you can donate ink to me as well, which it's just the same conversion rate. So $10 worth of ink gets you a general reading, 15 gets you an in-depth reading, and add 5 if you want it to be in character.
Mm-hmm.
So, same thing. And Patreons, they actually get an Oracle reading based on the tier that they subscribe to, but +1. So if you're at the $5 tier, or if you're at any tier, you get a general. If you're at $10 or higher, then you get an in-depth one. And if you're at 15, then you get in-depth in character. Oh, and one more thing with the Oracle readings. I am hoping to add tarot readings to the mix once I have... Thank you, Z.
Yeah, and you just got a recommendation from Z to everyone to get the, readings done. They're
Yes.
worth it. They're a lot of fun, a lot of insight, and it was a ton of fun getting called out. Honestly,
Yes, they
I
like
enjoyed
to.
every moment of it.
Yes, the dice tend to tell you what you need to hear instead of what you want to hear, kind of like tarot cards. And I have tarot decks on the way, actually, that I plan to add to my divination mix, which they would actually not take as long, and that would probably be my $5 tier thing for a 3-card spread. And I would just bump up based on cards. So that's all something that I'm going to look into later, but as far as the tarot stuff goes, it's going to be a little bit before even after I get the deck, because I want to make sure I've gotten enough practice with it first. Because I actually practiced with Amanda with the Oracle readings a few times before, making them available. So.
I got you.
Thanks. All right, I have questions.
All right, question 1. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, can Syra? I say them right so many times that I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. Can Syra breed and pass on her genes?
Yes. So Syrah is a hybrid penguin Undarian harpy mix. So most of the hybrids for Undarians and other races end up being sterile, or they end up being very short-lived. This includes people like in Syrah's case, and it's because biologically, in most cases where 2 different species interbreed, there's usually those kinds of genetic problems. Which,
for example,
Amanda,
horses and donkeys. All mules are sterile. I know someone who had a mule that performed so incredibly well at endurance racing that she had him cloned.
That's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so just as a big thing, but Sierra is actually lucky enough that she is part of the small percentage of Undarian hybrids that can actually pass on genes if she wants to, and that's because she is a very special case. Penguin Undarians are a very rare breed that are kind of their own thing. Mm-hmm. So if Sierra found a mate that she wanted to actually have children with, then she could absolutely do that. The other cool thing is that Undarians are hermaphroditic, so Sierra could actually pass her traits on whether her partner is male or female.
Yeah, it's kind of like Asaris, except not mindfucks.
Yeah.
If you're a Mass Effect fan.
Yeah, there are 2 characters that are confirmed capable of being able to,
mind fudge.
Yeah, but that's because they were scions.
I love them.
Next question.
Does the Tempest attack any ship in their path, or do they target particular factions like the Church that sucks, the Dark Cult, or Slavers? Or do they just go for the treasure?
It depends on how well they're doing. They try to target ships specifically owned by the Knights or by really skeevy merchants. People that, they have really bad business practices or something like that. They do try to be picky and choosy, but if they're having a slow month, or if Arya is just feeling, a little chaotic, or Elra just decides, what, that ship looks like it has a lot of money, well, guess what?
Mm-hmm. They are pirates, after all.
They are pirates. It's just most of the crew
They're not
would be
assholes.
considered. Yeah, most of the crew would be considered chaotic good, but a lot of them are also chaotic neutral. The captains are probably as close to neutral as you're going to get, although even they have their good sides.
Mm-hmm. So, how large is this ship? How many decks and floors? Decks/floors.
The Tempest is basically a full-size galleon. It has a main deck. It's got 2 lower decks, captain's cabin, officer's quarters, a galley, and it also has its own little doctor's office that they kind of set up in the hold. It's a bit big for its size, but the Tempest, they kind of have, like, I don't want to say a skeleton crew, but they basically work with as small of a crew as they can, while still so they can maximize their space for the other stuff. And it actually works out because their crew just happens to be that skilled.
Mm-hmm. So, do passengers have to sleep in bunk beds?
They actually have hammocks that they kind of hang in the crew's quarters, but the officers do have their own private rooms.
That's nice. So, what god or gods do your captains follow?
Arya is devoted to spirit gods that give magic to witches, which I will kind of go over later, but there's 7 spirit gods in total. Each one bestows a different kind of power to the witches that kind of favor them.
The birds are my favorite.
Yes, so Arya's patron deities are Fervus, the spirit god of fire, Shalonia, spirit god of water, and Corvia, spirit god of air. She can combine these magics in order to create storm magic, so fire and air for lightning.
Very frightening.
Yes, she can kind of affect tides around her and everything, and she can actually summon storms. Elra, however, is a scion, and scions are incapable of casting magic spells. They're not able to connect with that kind of magic. So she doesn't care about the gods. She respects them, but she doesn't have anything to gain from having a relationship with them. And you'll notice that Elra is very much a person that is, what can I get out of this relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Not a, touchy-feely person.
So, what about water spouts?
Yes. She
Okay.
could totally do water spouts.
Just wanted to make sure Z's question
Yes.
popped up.
Most water mages can also cast ice magic as well.
Nice. So, is Brune related to a giant clan or some race known for their strength?
Nope. She is very much human. She's just a very, very big, very, very strong human. Her mother was very big as well, bigger than Brune was at 9 feet tall. Her father, on the other hand, was 5'2" and just very ambitious.
That gets me every time. I've heard that answer 6 times, and it gets me every time.
Basically, he saw Brune's mom.
You gotta love a man with ambition.
Basically, yeah.
Or a woman.
Just like, okay. Mm-hmm.
Or a MB.
He wanted to climb that mountain.
I don't blame him. So is it fair to say that Brune is the heart of the ship, and with how she just picks up lost puppies, souls all the time?
So she's a big part of the heart for sure, but I wouldn't say she's the only one. You're going to find that there's actually a lot of sweethearts on the Crimson Tempest, and we're going to meet 2 of them in the next chapter. We get to see a couple of the puppy characters.
I love them.
Yes, but we're going to see 2 of them very soon.
All right. So, was Sera's personality inspired by Hinata from Naruto? Because I get some serious vibes from her on that score. I'm not sure who asked that question, so.
That was Z.
Okay.
So I have never watched Naruto, but I googled images of this Hinata girl, and she looks like she can get it.
She definitely has Hinata vibes. Honestly, that was one of my impressions too when I first met Sera. But honestly, she's kinkier, I think, than Hinata ever will be. But
I don't know anything about Naruto. That was during that whole like edgy anime is for nerds phases when I myself was
a nerd. emo anime girl.
Amazing.
But so also, is the Tempest enchanted to be bigger on the inside than the outside? We getting some Doctor Who action up in this shit?
It is not, but I honestly wouldn't past Arya, and I feel like if someone gave her that idea, she would just slam the table and go, "Why the hell didn't I think of that?" before then immediately making it happen and shoving even more crap in the Tempest.
Yeah.
It's already it's already kind of like they're kind of stretched to the limit with their space, with the size of their galley and their kitchen.
They just hoard it all. So how fast can it go fully loaded? Down.
It depends, but in general, the Tempest is actually very fast for a ship of its size, looking at about roughly 14 to 15 knots at its top speed normally. That said, if a whole bunch of mages blasted wind into the sails, it could feasibly go faster, and I'm sure Arya has pushed those limits. But without magic and everything, the Tempest, just through its own prowess, is able to go fairly fast for a galleon. Faster than normal.
All right. And that wraps up your questions.
Yep, and we still actually have 5 minutes if you want to.
So I'm gonna we're gonna real quick finish up my questions. Haha, I'm on big screen now. Watch out,
Alright.
bitches.
Oh, you only had 3 more. That's not bad.
Yeah, but you never know. I sometimes go off on tangent, or I take 3 hours, and I just wanted to make sure that we cover all the content we have planned, because the questions
Yeah.
are submitted through my Discord, and so the questions that my Patreons and Ko-Fi supporters submit get priority. They actually get answered instantly through the Discord, with only, the patrons and whatnot being able to view those answers, whereas everyone can submit questions on the other part of my Discord, the free part, and those questions don't get answered until the stream. So it's kind of hit or miss. It could be hit or miss when you submit those questions, but I mean, I'm a pretty nice person. I try to be. So I try and make sure to answer everyone's stuff. Plus, I just love that you guys are submitting these questions. It
Yeah,
gets me all
seriously.
giddy. I sit there. I'm like, I can't wait to get to the questions because they're fun. Okay.
Alright, so, who has sacrificed the most to create mages?
So, considering that it doesn't cost anything really for the gods to do the act, other than maybe some energy, I would say Lars Solus or Usko, honestly, here. Because when Lars Solus created the first mage, he actually ended up sacrificing his standing in a way with the other gods. Like, Nexiva was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And, and not all the gods agree with him. And Erember, she, like, hates him for creating Axis, who, like, went and killed a bunch of people. Yeah, guys, don't forget, Axis really is kind of a terrible person. Like, I mean, bad situation, but he really didn't need to kill as many people as he has. I mean, he really started setting people on fire just for being rude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him, but he's not a good person. He does not have good morals. I mean, but the trauma of dying and everything, really
Yeah,
doesn't
I mean,
help
it causes some problems.
he has reasons, but not excuses.
And don't forget Usko, too.
And Usko is possibly even more sacrificed even more than Lars Solus, because Usko sacrificed his freedom. Like, he is attached to Flora. He has dedicated himself to one person. And he only made one mage, but that is the one person. He gave himself to her. So, in a way, he sacrificed his entire being to make a mage. Next question.
All right. If a god gives their powers, does it weaken them?
Like I just said in the other question, no, it does not. They are using some of their energy to transform the soul, so it can generate its own power, so to speak. Because, so, they make their own power. So at worst, the god might need to take a nap after creating a mage or whatever. It's kind of sketchy, a little really undefined what the ability and the extent of the abilities of these gods are. We know that, flipping magic breakers, so to speak. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But I mean, we know that there's a hierarchy with the god. We know that God of Omnia is top dog, but we don't actually know what their power level is. And then we know that the ancients are above the rest. So, and Omnia above that. But I mean, we'll see more of their some of their abilities and whatnot as we go on. At least a couple of them. Anyway.
Very good. All right. This was actually the last question. Why is Flora's girlfriend such a jealous ninny?
So Yuka knows how much Flora loves Allura, and it scares her. She's young. She's in love. And, Yuka does not have the emotional maturity yet to deal with this in a healthy manner. This relationship showcases some of those issues of being inexperienced, of not having emotional maturity, and they're trying to figure out it's their first relationship. So it's really just them trying to find their way through. Anyway, that concludes all those questions. So the next Storytime Chit-Chat will be featuring chapters 34, 35, and 36. There is a possibility that following that Storytime Chit-Chat, there might be another one in the following week to catch it up, because the way the schedule changed, I realized I can actually move things ahead a little more. So we might have a little blip before one of the When Souls game to catch those chapters up. But besides that, we are looking at the possibility, we're still trying to schedule the appreciation stream, because I really still want to do that, and the problem is life just went crazy. I was going to do it this week, and then I was feeling so fucking wiped after I got my second dose of my COVID shot.
Oh yeah, you were.
But I still
dead.
managed to do the Wednesday stream. But if you guys are wondering why I was kind of quiet, my head was killing me, and I was like barely awake. But
And I kept letting her on fire.
Yeah, yes, and I was not appreciating that. Thanks,
Love
Cecilia.
Love you.
So, anyways, the next
You can't
stream.
see it, but I'm giving a little heart.
The next stream will be Wednesday. So I need to look at my schedule and stuff, because if we do the little Storytime Chit-Chat, was called 11 and a half, it will be probably before the When Souls game stream on Friday, next Friday. So 1 week from today. And I'm going to see about making the appreciation stream to be set on Wednesday. I may, if I can, I'll try and make it earlier, but I'm going to try and check with my Discord peeps, see if they can actually be there that day, because you guys are usually my super loyal watchers and readers, and I appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Close to us.
Exactly. So I'm gonna switch it over to our little promo screen so you can remember where we are all at, so that way I can pull the invite out for you guys without, messing with the avatars. But anyways, we post bullshit, making fun of each other, calling each other out on Twitter, where we share our one brain cell together.
We do.
And we freak out the publishing goblin, who is the one that Hippie got her dice from for all those wonderful oracle readings.
Yes, and honestly, I very highly recommend them if you get a chance. They're also who I'm getting my tarot deck from, because I'm getting normal horoscopes, normal tarot, and they're actually starting a Kickstarter in about 4 days, where for their Alleyman's tarot, that I'm probably also going to end up supporting because I like tarot.
So with that invite that I just threw up there, you can join the server. After you verify your age, you can get your role bumped up, so that way, you can get access to the mature channel, which is just, a chat where we're not as worried about censoring ourselves. But we have fun things in the channel, like a character chat channel is a ton of fun, accessible for everyone. I reply to all the messages as my characters, and Hippie does it too. She'll jump right in with her own characters, and it's hilarious. Sometimes I start talking to myself in there. It's great. Like, I even talk to my own characters, and Lars Souls is always getting all my nerfs, but
yeah,
maybe I'm going a little crazy. But we also have a fan art channel, a spoiler discussion channel, a story chat channel, a social channel meant for everyone, and then the mature social chat channel. And there's also a spot for promotions. There's rules to follow and whatnot, but it allows you to give yourself... I just like giving people a chance to connect with the other people on the server, because I do have a friend that he's a streamer as well, and he's a lot of fun to watch play his games. That's Shadow Inferno, which I'll drop his link. And also we have some other creators on there too that are super awesome, like Crow Stories. She writes Monsters, which is an awesome comic. She does all the work herself. And we have K-Gas, who I would just like to say I'm super happy for him, because he just had his child. His wife just had her baby recently. So congratulations, K-Gas. I'm so happy for you. I know you're probably not here watching, but that's okay, because you got a baby. But once again, there's HippieGhost Linktree. With that, you can access all of our bowl stuff, and there's my Linktree. So that way you can see all the fun stuff, I guess. There's all the links that I just spammed you with, so check them all out. I will be making a Linktree that will feature everyone's links on it, so that way you don't have to like be like, what the heck. I'll make it nice and clear and concise, and that way it's just one link drop and you guys can see what I'm recommending for the month. And it'll be lots of fun. Maybe I'll even like make contests for people on Tapas to come watch my stream, and I'll add them to my Linktree stuff. Not that I have many of you people, but you know, I love you guys anyway. Anyways, so here's the credits screen. I changed it again. Ha. But I just finished my banner, my new banner. So, hope you guys enjoy it. I love it. It took way too long. We have a character you don't know, another character you don't know, then we have Flora, and then we have Axis, and then we have Alora, and then we have a character you don't know, and then we have Larsolus, and then we have Sanakiro in his scaly form, and then we have Grantianon. I'm not going to tell you who those characters are you don't know. I can't wait for you guys to find out. It's a teaser.
Oh, it's going to be so great.
Anyways.
I love some of these characters.
Special thanks to Cecilia for being, you know, Patreon and Ko-Fi supporter. Special thanks to Kathy, Alex, Ruby, and Drail. I love you guys so much. It means the world to me that I have your support in all the ways. And thank you everyone else as well for being supporters on another thing. As soon as I hit 100 subscribers on Tapas, I'll be able to start making ad revenue on that. So best free way to support me is to just subscribe and read my stuff on there. So, okay, I think I've done spamming. You got anything to spam them with?
Well, I mean, you already expanded my Linktree, so that's good. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this, just so that way it's you know, the story itself. I did release content today, so make sure you check it out, and you know.
Yeah, I released too. Woo!
Oh, woo!
We release content every Friday.
Yep.
Love you too, Z. Have a good night. Thank you everyone for watching. You're all wonderful. Thank you. Toodle-doo. Hanging up now. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Jumanji.